UFC Vegas 100 was this weekend, and I believe we are officially out of the Apex. I know my hair looks like shit. I'm getting a haircut. I promise. It's coming on Tuesday. Matchmaking video coming out today as well. It's mixed with the ranking video, so if you want to see what happened with the rankings, nothing too crazy changed. Just the obvious people moving up in the rankings or moving down. Magni, Prates, those. But let's talk really quickly about the card. I'm going to give you guys a quick reaction video and recap video because it was really a lot of... It overperformed. Like, the card really did overperform. There were a lot of good, quick first-round finishes. Nothing too crazy to talk about, though. No really big names. Nothing to, really look forward to other than the main event. Renier de Ridder did not impress. Even though he won, he did not impress. It is what it is. But I went 10-1 on the card overall. It brings my overall record now to 290 and 193, so... That was a big one. 10-1's a good one. I had a parlay that was $5. I was a bitch and I put $5 on it. I know. Trust me, I usually have a sack when I bet. I promise. But it was 5-1, 538, and I just bet on every fight. The only guy that sold me was Mearshart. But let's get right into it. Melissa Mullins versus Claudia Segula. Claudia Segula is just not good. Melissa Mullins is UFC level. Even though she's no stud, she's fought in the UFC before, she was just the better fighter. Landing strikes, Segula did okay in the striking. Nothing good, nothing great. She had moments where she did land, though. But Melissa Mullins was landing harder, was landing better. Eventually, it got to the point where Melissa Mullins, at the end of the first round, got her takedown, was realizing she was seeing success. And then when round 2 started, she went in, got the takedown, got the ground and pound finish once she transitioned to flattening out Claudia Segula. Claudia Segula, man, not too shabby. Not too shabby, but it's what it is. Good win for Melissa Mullins. Just don't really care that much about this division, if I'm being real. That's why I didn't matchmake her. Spoiler alert, I didn't matchmake Melissa Mullins. Don't care about the women's bantamweight division, dude. I'm sorry. Until you get to, the top, because Juliana Pena really fucking ruined the thing by getting a robbery victory. Juliana Pena's the winner. She's the champion of the fucking division. I don't give a fuck about it till Kayla Harrison takes back over. Moving on, Tresean Gore beat Antonio Tricoli. Like I told you, Antonio Tricoli is a coward. Fake texting people from what he says is Mackenzie Dern's phone, but he isn't. He's an insecure man. I hope Mackenzie Dern leaves him and then he gets cut from the UFC and just is never heard from again. I think this guy's a fucking coward. And it's good on Tresean Gore for beating his ass. This fight was really just how much better Tresean Gore was at grappling than Antonio Tricoli. It was really quick. He went in, shot his takedown almost immediately. Clearly Tresean Gore is strong and powerful because he just looks big. And his ability to just pick up and slam Antonio Tricoli right off the bat shows how strong he is. So he goes in, he gets his takedown. Tricoli ends up getting back to the feet. And once he gets back to the feet, it's Gore's in there again in the clinch and then ends up just latching the same arm-in guillotine that he did in his last couple fights. Or his last fight. He's gotten that twice now. A reporter in the post-fight interview tried to bait him into talking shit about Bisping, but he remained very calm, very composed. Go watch it yourself. It's a good little moment where the reporter just says, Bisping's pretty much saying that you have no technique and doesn't think that going to the grappling is the best thing for you. And he's like, dude, I do this every fight that I'm in. I've been getting the same submission. It is technique. Bisping always does that shit on commentary. It is what it is. I'm a fan of Bisping. I think he was great for the sport. I think he has great accomplishments, and I strive to be a champion like he was. I don't agree with it, man. It was a good technique, and he just handled it very well. Then the reporter tried to cop out and saying, I wasn't trying to pin the two of you against each other. Yes, you were. We know exactly what she was doing. She just didn't get the reaction from Tresean Gore that she wanted, so she tried to cop out. Coward. These fucking media reporters suck. They're terrible. Get them out of the sport. They don't ask good questions. They don't press Dana or the fighters enough. And then they're just Weasley little rats because they're learning from the rat himself, Ariel Helwani. Moving on. Damone Blackshear, one of the better performances on the card. Bisping went nuts glazing Cody Stamann anytime he did anything, bro. I've been trying to defend Bisping's commentary because I do think he's funny to listen to on the desk and it's entertaining and he does have good insight at times. But my God, anytime Cody Stamann landed a punch that was blocked by Damone Blackshear, you would think that Damone Blackshear just got knocked down. Bisping, shut the fuck up, dude. Pull it together. You were one of the best. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing? Stupid. Damone Blackshear was just landing better on the feet. Uses kicks okay. His hands were decent. But his grappling was really like, it was good. He just found himself in a dominant position, ended up controlling the fight, and ended up getting the submission. So it was a good rear naked choke. He almost had a guillotine in, or was it a darce? I think it was almost a darce that he had in. Or like a necktie. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because I went back to watch all these fights because I was drinking at the game yesterday, and then I came back and was watching these hungover as shit because I was drunk during the day, and then at night it was just miserable. But yeah, he ends up getting the submission. He did transition to get the rear naked choke, and he got the rear naked choke. It was an impressive performance. It looked like it was on Cody Staman's chin at first to start, and then Cody Staman just kind of was like, ooh, this hurts my chin. Lifts his chin, goes under the neck, and he gets submitted. So great performance from Damone Blackshear. This dude's a problem, man. Just because he got knocked out by Montel Jackson and robbed by Mario Batista don't mean shit. This guy should be 16-6. 16-6-1, but he got starched, and I bet he could have beaten Montel Jackson too. So Damone Blackshear's a problem. He's good, bro. He's really good. So keep an eye on this dude. Moving on, Charles Radke knocks out Matthew Semmelsberger early. Like I said, dude, Semmelsberger sucks. I thought that he was going to have a moment where he like cracked Radke early, but Radke was clearly faster and just landed the powerful shots. He landed a powerful shot and then just finished with a standing TKO combination. So good performance from Charles Radke. That left hook was quick. They glazed the left hook like crazy, but he did land it, and it was the shot that like hurt Semmelsberger first, so he could go in for the finish. So good performance from Radke. He's like I like listening to him on the mic. Honestly, he didn't say it when we wanted him to say it, but he didn't say it. It's okay. Trump's not officially in office, so he can't say it yet, but he'll say it again soon. Yeah, dude, good performance from Radke. Good left hook. It's a quick performance. There's not much else to talk about. Like, he's entertaining on the mic. Could have been, there could have been a little bit more pop, but again, it was just a fucking Apex event. Like, give this guy a little bit of a better chance. Charles Radke looked good, got his knockout, and he's probably going to be able to turn around quick. I'd like to see that. Moving on, another first-round knockout. So we went on a crazy stretch here, guys. Second round finish, but then we go first round finish, first round finish, first round finish, first round finish. Sick knockout from Zaleski dos Santos. Just was the better fighter the whole time against Zach Scrogan. Scrogan just, listen, man, he's much worse than I thought he was. I'm just going to say it. Just going to say it, dude. Like, Scrogan really doesn't have hands. And he's just kind of got that soy build, whereas Zaleski dos Santos, bro, he is a fucking beast. Like, this guy is a monster, not the guy you want coming after you because he can hurt bad. Really, really good performance from Zaleski dos Santos. And this is it. We needed to see him get a first-round knockout quick and dispose of this guy that is not on his level quick. And he did that. He did what we were expecting him to do, and this is what fighters need to do more. When someone is in there that has no business being in there with you, make your presence known and prove it to them that you are on another level than them and they don't deserve to be in there with you. That's what the Zaleski dos Santos did to get the win. I am sorry, I'm fumbling over words right now. But great performance from Dos Santos. Gets his first round knockout. Should turn around quickly. And I say rebook the Dalby fight, dude. I want to see it. It's a good fight. Make it happen. And we move on. Denise Gomes is just better than Karolina Kowalkiewicz in every facet of the sport. She's better at striking, better at grappling. She's stronger. She's more powerful. Karolina Kowalkiewicz is kind of ending this point in her career where she's just going to beat the shitty fighter. She's not going to beat anyone that's truly talented. Put her on a fucking Poland card so she can retire in front of her crowd, please. If we can do a fight night in Poland, one of the most clean and perfect cities in the world, or countries in the world, based Poland. But I think we should. I really do, because I'm thinking of the Poland fighters. Like, you got Rebecki, who's on one right now, coming off one of the fights of the year, and winning against a huge name in Heidelberg Orlby. You have Jan Blachowicz still here. There are other Polish fighters. You have Aspinall's half Polish, like you can do that. Gamrot. So you have these people that you can go there with, Kowalkiewicz, and like you have the people that you can go there with. It makes sense to me, man. I don't know why we wouldn't do it, but it is what it is. Denise Gomes, though, this part's supposed to be about her. She just looked good. She was better. I think she is like ranked competition level. Not saying a lot because I don't think that the division's that great, but it is what it is. I think she's got enough power. She's got enough pop, and now she's coming off, I think, a 3-fight win streak. What are we looking at here? 2-fight win streak. So she knocked out Bruna Brazil, who put a beating on Molly McCann. She knocked out Yasmin Yaregui, who's everyone, like including myself, has just talked about her as this absolute problem of the division, great striker and stuff like that, but Denise Gomes had the power. She lost to Angela Hill, and everyone that's not top 10 worthy loses to Angela Hill. Worthy. Top 10 ready loses to Angela Hill. Then she wins against Eduarda Mora clearly. I don't know why it was a split decision. It was a clear win over someone who was highly touted, and then beats Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who has been just outside the rankings her whole career and at points in them. So I think it's worthy of being ranked 15 at this point, and ranked competition next. So good performance from Denise Gomes. She keeps putting the wins together, and she's only 24. She's going to get better every fight. We may have a problem on our hands in a couple years. Moving on. Mansour Abdul Malik did exactly what we thought he was going to do, man. He did. I'm going to reset this because I'm not seeing fight stats right now, but he knocked out Dusko Todorovic in a round. Great performance. Looked really good. Calm, composed, powerful, but when it was time to let it go, he did. He had good grappling, and it led to him getting a knockout. It was a great performance, and I think this guy can actually be a problem in the division here, dude. Dead ass. Think he's a problem. Now, Dusko Todorovic is a guy that just gets knocked out in the first round. That's literally what he's in the UFC for, so you can have a prospect go in there and knock his ass out. And Mansour Abdul Abdalik did it. Mansour Abdul Malik. I'm not going to get this right ever, bro. Ugh. But yeah, he did what he did. And very Dos Santos-esque in the sense that, listen, this guy's not supposed to be in there with you. He's not on your level. Prove it. He went out there. He proved it. He beat his ass. Knocked him out in round 1. Middleweight, we have a fucking problem on our hands. Or you have a problem on your hands. This ain't my problem, bro. I'm not fucking fighting this guy. This guy's a fucking beast. Then we get the Jillian Robertson-Luana Pinheiro fight. I think this fight was a 29-28 fight. You could argue 27-29, so it is what it is. I don't think the scorecards were terrible here. I just think Jillian Robertson was better. Luana Pinheiro did show me more than I thought she was going to show me, to be honest. When they were on the feet, Luana Pinheiro I thought she was doing a little bit better. She had her moments, but Jillian Robertson would get her takedown. She shot them relentlessly. To shoot 17 takedowns and get them, it's good work. It's really good work. She shot them. She got them. And once she got him, there was some difficulty for Pinheiro to get back to her feet. Had 8 minutes of control time and was doing really good with the ground and pound like we thought. She didn't really threaten as much with submissions. She was going for a position and trying to land the ground and pound. She did a good job landing punches, elbows, things like that to make sure the judges were seeing that she was winning the fight. Even though Luana Pinheiro's hot. They usually try and rob it for the smoke shows, but yeah, it don't matter because Jillian Robertson just beat her that bad. It was a win, and this is one that's going to keep her moving up the rankings. And I think Jillian Robertson really should start looking at that top 10. She's coming off multiple wins in a row now, and it's against some decent competition. Luana Pinheiro is ranked competition. Before that, she beat Michelle Waterson-Gomez. Nothing crazy, but then she knocked out Pauliani Viana with ground and pound. Lost a decision to Tabitha Ricci, which again was a fucking close one. It was close, and Ricci always gets the scorecards. And then Piera Rodriguez, she submits. So she's coming off a really good resume now. And she's really starting to find her stride. 4-1 in her last 5. Jillian Robertson's doing her thing. Moving on. This was the lowest level fight I've seen. I'm not spending much time on this. This is just a low level fight. Like I said, Cortavius Ramos is so slow. He's not that good. He could get his takedowns, but Bolaños was able to get back up and reverse them. Cardio was a major issue. This was sloppy, ugly fight. Bolaños looked slow and not great either. These are just two guys that we have in the UFC, and Dana was hoping, you put him on the card, we might get a crazy finish over Romius because his name is Cortavius Romius, and it should be in a fucking Key and Peele skit. But the guy sucked, dude. Just because his name is Cortavius Romius does not mean he's going to be good. He's overrated as shit. Overrated as shit. I told you Bolaños was going to win this fight, and he did win it. 30-26 is crazy to me. Crazy. I still think it's 30-27. 30-26 is crazy to me, though. Good win for Bolaños. Not impressive at all. Cortavius Romius is wow, how good are these Contender Series guys coming right up? Yeah, you're going to have to give him an easier fight than Bolaños, which I don't know how you're going to find. But Bolaños gets the win. Yeah, told you so. Moving on. All right, these are the fights that we really want to talk a little bit more about, and it's Renier de Ridder versus Gerald Meerschaert. Dude, Renier de Ridder is not that good. He went life and death with Gerald Meerschaert, and you're telling me he's supposed to be ranked, supposed to potentially be a champion one day? This guy has no striking. But somehow he still knocked down Gerald Meerschaert in the first round. But this guy's got no striking, bro. His grappling, like, Gerald Meerschaert was able to reverse it a lot. Now, there were some good scrambles and high-level scrambles and stuff like that, and he did end up getting his arm triangle choke in that third round, but I wasn't crazy impressed. The performance that I would have wanted to see out of Reinier de Ridder is on the feet, landing good against Meerschaert, like a couple good shots, using kicks specifically, because I know just his build, he's not going to be great with the punches, even though he got a knockdown. And then just ragdoll Gerald Meerschaert and just outclass him on the ground. He was pretty much on par with Gerald Meerschaert on the ground. But he ended up getting the submission, so it is a win, and it is a finish for Reinier de Ridder. But everyone that was sitting here saying, dude, this guy's going to be a problem. Like, he can hang with some of the best in the division. This guy screams like Bo Nickel destroys him for his way up into the rankings. That's what Reinier de Ridder screams to me. He beats Paul Craig, then he gets the Reinier de Ridder to fight, then it's only ranked comp from there. That's what I see him. I see him as a Bo Nickel stepping stone. Like, that's what Reinier de Ridder should be. I don't think he's that good. Like, he's in the UFC, so he is good. I get it. But, like, dude, like, the way people were talking about this guy was like, oh, he's going to be, dude, watch out. I watched one championship. I'm a fucking hardcore. He's going to be a problem. I know more about you because I watched one championship and PFL and Bellator, all the shit promotions. You're not a hardcore because you glaze Reinier de Ridder. He doesn't stand a chance against the top 25 in the UFC, let alone top 15. But he gets the win, and we move on. Carlos Prates is a problem. I had him to win by third round knockout. Anytime he hit Neil Magny, he fucking destroyed him. Now, the story of this fight is the takedown defense was amazing. Amazing. Magny's going for these takedowns, and Magny doesn't have the best takedowns, but he's relentless, and he gets you down in weird ways, like from the clinch and in the body lock. And Carlos Prates literally withstood every single one. Every single takedown attempt he withstood. And then he ended up reversing one to the point where he fell on top of Neil Magny and was able to land. And he goes for punches. Like, that's what I like to see, is he's standing there and he's stacking in guard and trying to land a ground and pound shot, realizes this isn't going to be the way to get the finish, and then he backs off and he gets out. Every time he got up and got to range, kick Neil Magny's leg out, and then just throw that left hand and absolutely murder Neil Magny. Now, we got to the end of the first round, and I'm thinking, all right, we get to round 2, need over 1.5 rounds. Neil Magny might be able to stall out part of the second round so I can hit my bet. Nope. Prates hits him with a jab that looks like it's what knocked out Neil Magny, and then follows up with a left hand to make sure that the lights went out for good on Neil Magny. Glancing shot behind the temple. People are saying that Neil Magny gave up, he sold, he quit. It was all rigged. It was, he took a dive. When are you fucking dumbasses gonna learn? You get grazed in the temple. You're getting knocked out. Like, we've seen it happen multiple times before. Jamal Hill did it to Johnny Walker. Like, he hit him with a weird shot that knocked him out that didn't look like it was going to be crazy. We've seen this a million times. Same thing with the Izzy knockout over Paulo Costa. That left hook barely hit him, but he grazed behind the ear and the temple, and then just it knocked him out because you lose your equilibrium. It's a great performance from Carlos Prates. Let's not take anything away from that. This dude is a problem. Now, I actually don't know how he does against an MVP. Don't know how he's going to do against a Wonder Boy. But I would love to see fights like that. I think he wants to turn around quicker, though, so I got to match up with someone else, and you got to find out by watching my rankings or my matchmaking video that's coming out directly after this. But Carlos Prates, man, he's a problem. Keep an eye out for these fighting nerds. Neil Magny, this is the second knockout in a row. Now, this guy is no longer rankings gatekeeping. He is gatekeeping your way to the rankings, like to get close. So it's top 25 gatekeeping now, which is fine. It's a good spot for Neil Magny. But Carlos Prates is a legit problem. This guy has 4 walk-off knockouts in a row right now. He came into the UFC, and he was 17-6 before he went to the Contender Series. He's gotten 5 knockouts. 5. A knee over Charles Radke, a left hand on Trevin Giles, and now we're seeing the Radke wins aging even better. Trevin Giles went life and death with Mike Mallet. Somehow that aged okay. The Leech knockout, great knockout, and then this knockout, and the one in the Contender Series. So this dude's a problem. People should be fucking nervous. Now, he said he wants to turn around and he wants to fight in the UFC card in Australia. I love that. I love the activity. I love the fight style. This is how you build a name for yourself. You go in there, you get knockouts. You get crazy knockouts. You have a fun fight style. And then you turn around and you stay active so everyone's talking about you. We got a problem on our hands in the welterweight division with Carlos Prates, and I am here for it. This guy genuinely is going to do well in the UFC, and he's going to do well against some of the best competition. He is. I want to go into the divisional rankings really quick. I don't want heavyweight. Welterweight. You got Bilal, you got Leon, you got Shavkat, you got JDM. He called out JDM. I don't think the JDM fight's the one to make because anyone in the top 6, I think he needs one more fight, or he needs to get a win in the rankings outside of Neil Magny to get into the top 6. Like Joaquin Buckley and Machado are fighting. Gilbert Burns is a pretty good fight, but I don't think Gilbert's going to take that if I'm being honest. I know Colby's not taking it because he's a bitch. Jeff Neal's a good one to look at. Like, he can beat a lot of these dudes. He really can. He really can. Carlos Prates is a fucking problem. This guy goes in there and he's putting people out and then he's fucking smoking cigarettes and partying after, and everyone's all about it. This guy's a monster. UFC Vegas 100 recap. Keep your eyes open. Carlos Prates is a problem. Stay active. Stay knocking people out. This guy's the real deal. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe.